Okay, let's cut through all the AI hype, shall we? Forget the buzzwords for a minute. What we're going to do right now is build a real, practical blueprint for finding actual, tangible value with AI in your organization.
This right here, this is the whole game. Seriously, AI transformation isn't about the tech itself. It's about finding the right problems to solve. Getting this part right is the difference between a huge win and just another failed project that wastes time, money, and everyone's enthusiasm.
And this slide just nails the central problem, doesn't it? So many companies start over on the left, chasing some shiny new tech without a clear purpose. The goal is to completely flip that script. You need to start on the right, with the specific business value you're trying to create.
And when you start with the tech instead of the problem, well, the consequences are very real. And honestly, they're pretty painful. Projects go way over budget, they get stuck, and worst of all, people start to lose faith and think, you know what, this whole AI thing just isn't for us. The stakes are super high.
But there is a solution. It's called the Unified Use Case Discovery Framework. The best way to think of it is as your playbook, a really clear, repeatable process that brings some much-needed structure to the chaos of trying to implement AI.
The whole framework is built on these 5 core steps. So let's just walk through them together. We're going to build a roadmap that'll take you from just a scattered idea all the way to a prioritized list of AI projects that will actually make a difference.
All right, let's dive in. Step 1 is all about establishing your process. This is the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next. It's about setting the stage for success before you even talk about a single idea.
You know, a great process is really about how you gather and document ideas. It means getting the right people in the room, a good mix of your tech folks, business people, and support teams. It's about encouraging storytelling to uncover the real nitty-gritty pain points. And this is so important. It means documenting the hidden stuff, the workarounds and unwritten rules that show how work actually gets done. So with that foundation solid, we can move to step 2, the brain dump. This is where you just open the floodgates, get every single potential idea out on the table. Seriously, no idea is too big or too small at this point. Just get it all out there.
A really simple way to organize this brain dump is to just use 2 buckets. Are you focused on internal processes, things that make your own team faster and more efficient? Or are you looking at external processes, the stuff that actually touches your customers? Just splitting it like this brings immediate clarity to the whole thing.
So now you have this big list of ideas. That's great. Now it's time for step 3, map the journey. This is where you give all those ideas some context. Because, let's be honest, an idea just floating in space is basically a guess. But an idea that's tied to a specific moment in a process, that's a real opportunity.
The approach here is really straightforward. For your external ideas, you map out the customer journey. For internal ideas, you map the business process. But in both cases, you are hunting for the exact same thing, those moments of friction. The bottlenecks, the delays, the frustrations. That is where AI can have the biggest impact. Now for what I think is a truly crucial step, structuring your use cases. This is where we move from just vague ideas to concrete data-backed proposals. It's all about adding some discipline and detail to the process.
And you do that with a simple, structured template, just like this one. For every single idea, you force the team to answer these basic questions. What's the real problem? Who's it affecting? What's the benefit? How often does this even happen? This discipline is what stops you from chasing half-baked ideas that go nowhere.
Let's look at a real-world example to make this concrete. The vague idea is, hey, let's use AI for expenses. Okay, but watch what happens when you fill out the worksheet. It becomes this powerful data-backed proposal. The problem is slow, error-prone processing. It impacts the finance team. It happens 200 times a week. And the benefit is crystal clear, faster cycles and real cost savings. See? Now you have a real business case.
Okay, you've made it. You have a list of well-defined, structured use cases. Now for the final step, and maybe the hardest one, prioritization. Because, let's face it, you can't do everything at once. And prioritization isn't just about picking the idea with the biggest potential payoff. It's a balancing act. You have to weigh that impact against things like technical feasibility, any potential risks, and of course, how well it aligns with your company's big picture goals. A great idea that's impossible to build or goes against your core strategy isn't a great place to start. And here's a little pro tip for you. Start with the quick wins. I know it's tempting, but resist the urge to tackle your biggest, riskiest project on day 1. Instead, pick something simpler, maybe an internal project. Use it to build your team's skills, prove that this process works, and create some real momentum for the bigger things to come.
So we've walked through the entire 5-step framework. Now let's just boil it all down to the one key thing you need to remember.
So after walking through all 5 of those steps, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Success in AI isn't about having the flashiest, most expensive technology. It's about having a disciplined, repeatable process for finding and validating the problems that are actually worth solving. That process, that's the real linchpin. And that leaves just one final question. But it's not for me, it's for you. Using this framework, what is the very first pain point that you can solve with AI? Your journey begins right there with that simple question.